the more recent events at the moment, it will be, yes, New on the killer, as you had heard. 3, Eric, Raikin, and Miyuzi now. What can they really put up? No, what kind of performance can they put up here? I mean, it is on a different map as opposed of other regions. This type of balancing, it is on Suffocation Pit too, and we've had a fair bit of feedback on this map being a very big map. The results are still kind of varying though. We saw Shinto play last night against I do believe it was Source, and Source was able to 4K on this map. Shinto kind of struggled a little bit, getting ultimately I think 7 staged in the end, and that was only a result of the survivors playing very altruistic. That could have been anywhere between like 3 to 4 stages. So I mean, in the end, I guess we really never know what to expect until we have more matches on the Suffocation Pit too, because it's not really a map you see in rotation too much, as it has been pulled from pubs. And yeah, just even amongst other tournaments, you just have so many other maps that are in that kind of category. You know, you have Suffocation Pit 1 even, you have Coal Tower and Wrecker's Yard and Father Campbell's Chapel and all sorts of maps you can really put the nurse on, and but all have their strengths and weaknesses. Nevertheless, we will see New take chase over here, over at corner 3, and we'll be finding Miyuzi getting tagged, getting caught out quite just hiding behind that half wall, and now that's just going to be a very quick down. That's not the kind of start that you need on the side of Ares, so a little bit of a faster paced game than what we're seeing already on the side of Gospel as opposed of yesterday. If you guys had kept up to date with what was happening at over at Shinto versus Source, there was a lot of stealthing going on there, so it's just unfortunate that, you know, Miyuzi wasn't able to really stealth out New there. That was quite a fast down. I think that was even sub 1 minute.
Yeah, no, that it definitely was sub 1 minute, but you know, it's just not the start you're really after, like, and especially getting found in just a really bad spot. Like, there's not really much around there that you can play around. There's not really, you know, there's no trees around that jungle gym either. So it's a bit hard to like break that line of sight and just get away from New there. So it just results in a very quick down. I think New does spot. Yeah, we do spot Rayan out here going for the save as well. We're gonna be getting the tag and going for the trade. Looking like we just want to get that deli in play. But we'll have to see if they can even last that 14 seconds for Deliverance to come in. We do make the vault, and New does mess up the blink, so we should be seeing Deli definitely being activated now. So that's good, at least coming from the survivors. But look, when it comes to this map, obviously, as you said before, Nurse has been put on a lot of different maps in a lot of different leagues. But I don't think I've personally seen Suffocation 2 anywhere yet. So it's very unique, and I do like the pick. But honestly, I think when it comes to results, it all kind of just depends on your death spots. Because as it's such a big map, as long as you're dying like in a corner away from your like a hard 3-gen or 4-gen. Oh, and an insane prediction coming in from New, finding Raiden on the corner. Unreal, Hunter. Well, New's he's going crazy at the start of this match.
No stealthing there, he's denying it, and now Rayhin just got nowhere to run. Will be one blinked over at the Shuck pallet, but yes, dying corners is exactly what we do. A favor for the survivors here, at least, is that, you know, Rayhin has gone down over at 5, so it's going to be quite difficult for New to reach all the way back down to this 2 hook here, but we'll be seeing it happen. Miyuzi still death hook at the moment, so maybe in New's best interest to take this tag onto our near here and just continue on the chase over at main, and I do think this is going to be an 11 death spot if we aren't able to jiggy, and that is exactly what it's looking like. I mean, we've diverted our pathing to all the way into the corner, maybe doing a little bit of edge mapping, but New's not going to fall for any of that BS. He's just going to be hitting down Miyuzi, and that will be him out of the game at 4 gens remaining. So the 3v1 happening at 4 gens remaining is absolutely crazy, and this is why Gospel are one of the best teams in OCE, if not arguably the best team. You know, obviously you do have the likes of Zetsubo and Source as it currently stands, but they are one of the favorites to go through to the grand final, so they're definitely showing why that is, and New just now able to really blink away from that hook and now try to find his next victim. We did see some generator progress happening on in the background. We have spotted someone out over near the shack now, just running towards that over 4 side of the map, and we're just going to be opting to greed this pallet over at the rock and try to make as much distance as possible, trying to die in a corner, but we're dying into the gens at the moment if we are if we are ready to die nevertheless, and it is Eric who is injured, and yes, more than capable of dying because it's not a healthy survivor as we had seen the blood pools, but we're going to be doing a little bit of spins around in the main building using that half wall to our advantage. Some very nice stuff from Eric here, our Nia, who's going to opt to die all the way down into corner 1, or he's just going to try and double back into the main building, but not quite working out in his favor, and that will be his first stage of the match.
You know, honestly, I really liked what I saw there from Eric, and honestly, he was the best survivor, I think, to get found in that situation, considering he is the Wretched Fate survivor. So, you know, going to be avoiding all that generator slowdown, but the generators are really horrendous, I'm not going to lie, for Team Ares. It is all quite close together and all around that top side. And the other gen that is being worked by 3 is it's pretty much the one gen that isn't in a close proximity to all these generators around the main building and of course Shack. So once that pops, it's going to be really difficult, I think, for Ares to even get another gen going if these chases are going as quick as they are. But really good stealth coming in from the Zarina, but and yeah, Nu's not gonna find the scratch marks as Zarina is running away, and they have too much distance by this point. So really good stealth coming in there. I think they really needed that to make sure they didn't give away any free tags. But we do see that gen popping now coming in from 3. So I think as long as Nu kind of just tries to stay around that top side and obviously keep an eye on that Shack generator, as it did have very high progress, he should be looking all right. But 3 able to stealth all the way to the top side of the map. The bottom side of the map, and Nu's definitely not going to be trying to look from around there. So the game has slowed up quite a bit after that first death coming in. So that is really nice to see, and yes, the stealth's really paying off right now, Hunter. Nu's definitely losing a lot of time, and in the meantime, a lot of gens are picking up some progress. And we do spot the reset reset on the edge of the map though, but at least they did manage to get it off. But once again, it is the Wretched Fate survivor. Even though the totem does now pop, so I guess it doesn't quite matter if they get chased or not now. But we do get some very nice distance there. Nu using both of his blinks, not going to catch up in time, and we are going to make it to the water tower now as well. So we do want to try to die as far away from these gens, and right now we are managing it. Oh, and we just get on the tip of the weapon. So very nice from Nu, but we did get some good distance away from that one gen. So well done by Eric, honestly. Even if we do get dragged back to the middle side of the map, but and we do have Shackgen popping for that as well. So yeah, really good coming in from Ares.
Yeah, I mean, after that first tunnel out, it kind of had his momentum, Nu's momentum kind of had like been put to a standstill. So yeah, you kind of see why that is at the moment with that generator in the background procking. So I think he's going to play a little bit more defensive. He is around his generators over at this top side of the map. Like you had mentioned before, it is in his best interest just to sit by here. I mean, there's no real reason for him to leave. He can kind of let that generator over at, deep 7 pop. It's not really too much of a hassle for him, but I do think he's trying to spot out some stealthing survivor going for this unhook, and we did manage to see Ace somewhere in the vicinity, but where is he at the moment? He is just slowly ratting around. He is over at main, just hiding behind this pallet here, so nice and safe on the side of 3, the captain of Ares, as you do. He's just, I think he's been caught out just a little bit, and Nu's a little too smart. Got a really keen eye for that stealth out, and he's going to be taking that tag. It's going to be a trade, unfortunately, and we're going to opt to slug this and try to get Eric out of the game as fast as possible. And the grab coming in as well. No, maybe some ping. I mean, in all honesty, when you're medium vaulting like a nurse like that and just able to really read it on the side, I don't even know if he meant to grab there, but just still so unfortunate. So we are looking at a 4K1. We weren't quite able to make it as much distance and last as long as we would have wanted on the side of Eric, but we're going to opt to go back to this generator over at 8 because we can now, having only 2 survivors left in the trial and Nu already having enough info to say, hey, they're not on the generators over at the top side, so Raihin has to be over here at the bottom side. It's just a matter of where is Raihin now and what can Raihin do. It's kind of looking like a 4K2 at the moment. I don't think that we're really going to be able to pull this back on the survivors side. So Nu's just kind of really once again taking advantage and taking control over the match, even though he came to that standstill, like I had mentioned a little bit before. We do get this tag onto Rayhin nice and quick, and I don't think that's enough distance to buy for a trade, but it is going to allow him to make all the way down to 10, and he's going to do a little bit of a line of sight breakage there, but ultimately getting caught out in the end of that will spell the 4K2 for Nu.
Hunter, like that play right off hook was absolutely unreal. Like it was 100% Nu went for the grab on that window, because if he didn't get that grab, that gen on the logs was 100% popping, as it would have just taken too long for him to catch up. But like even as I was watching like him there, I'm like, okay, so they're gonna vault the window, and because like you can't, you know, you want if you hit them, it's just BT. We don't know. We don't know how well they're going to be able to play this map, and it's and we don't know if Gospel's going to get the jitters. Like they may be the favorites, but everyone has a bad day or everyone makes mistakes. So if they, you know, if Ares Killer manages to, you know, catch them off guard, get them in a bad spot, and they manage to like have like a mid hook in that last game, where it's just in between so many generators and makes it almost impossible not to have pressure against everyone. Um, you know, they could have a very good chance.
I guess I think we also have to take into account what kind of build's going to be brought into this match to kind of facilitate the play style. I mean, you're going to have a very aggressive play style if you're able to play for the win con. We do see a lot of teams in this tournament, unfortunately, like when they're met with a tall order win con, they're playing too damn defensive. And with something like this is an exact scenario where, oh, it's NTR though, so it's not Musi. I think we've been a little bit debated here, but nevertheless, yeah, I think we just have to take into account. Obviously, we do have Call of Brian, we have Eruption, we have Pop Goes the Weasel, and Corrupt Intervention. So, I mean, this is definitely doable. It can be a little bit more on the aggressive side. I mean, you would have preferred something like maybe not Pop Goes the Weasel, because Pop Goes the Weasel obviously works on hooks. So if you're going to play the slug game, if you're going to play the aggressive game, you really have to be maybe like you'd have another perk there that would just age in. No way, Sizz has just absolutely debated NTR over at those tiles. That's absolutely crazy, and you love to see it. Some great stealth here from the boys over at Gospel, and playing it very slow like we had seen yesterday. So we're already seeing a difference in stealthing. I mean, oh, it's just mighty unfortunate that we weren't really able to do that on the side of Ares, but nevertheless, we have found Nu, who was our killer last game. We'll be trying to take Chase all the way down to corner 5, where there is a corrupted generator, but we're going to be trying to dodge a tag instead. So very nice stuff from Nu to be able to break a line of sight as well and just run down this side of the map. And it's like oh no! Oh, we've done it, and we've blinked to the basement. Nu, you cheeky, cheeky man. And now he's able to make all that distance and go all the way down to bottom side. No tag in the hand of NTR. Oh, I've just completely lost my train of thought on what I was going to say. But look, I think NTR is really struggling here to get some tag, get some pressure on the board here, JD.
Yeah, look, this is a very unfortunate stuff for NTR. I mean, Nu got a bit lucky there with the basement. Just unfortunately, NTR he kind of did something that I'm trying to get out of a bad habit of, is instead of kind of waiting after that first blink before clicking that M2 again to charge that second one. I was in a really bad habit where it's like, as soon as I use my first blink, I insta ready that M2. And a lot of the time, if I've blinked right until the survivor, it means that second blink I need to blink straight down. And if something's there like basement, like I've just completely like screwed myself over, which is exactly what you just saw there. It was the instant holder of the M2, and it's forced NTR to go into basement and not get that tag. And now we're chasing Cash all the way to the bottom side of the map, away from all the gens that are being progressed currently. So this is what I was mentioning before about despots, and this is absolutely perfect coming in from Cash. Something that I do think was like a big kind of difference, so I guess in between the two sets so far. Obviously, the stealthing was much more immaculate, coming in from Sizz and Cash. They were both kind of around where the nurse was, but definitely did not get spotted up. But I think spawning bottom side is much better for survivors in terms of spawning top side. I think there's kind of just more you can hide behind, and you have kind of more of a clear vision, I think, of seeing which direction the killer's coming from. So I think the spawn is probably a bit better for Gospel so far, but the stealth, you can't take that away from them. They had a much stronger stealth, and I don't know how Sizz didn't get found around the edge tile, because that was like the one edge tile that NTR like fully searched around. but Sis just timed the walk around perfectly and didn't get spotted. But we did see Nu on that 11 gen there. He's just gonna run behind main. But we're gonna head back for Cash as we did see the unhook coming in, and we do get the reset as well. But it's just gonna be an insta hit, but still, it's good to see that reset coming in. But we are gonna be heading towards the top side. So changing the direction a little bit, Hunter, trying to get at least one of those bottom gems popped. It looks like it looked like we were quite confident that 11 gen would pop in the meantime, but it doesn't. It's going to be the eruption, and we do have the tag coming in onto Nu as well. So I think maybe a bit of a misplay coming in from Cash, maybe thinking he was going to last just a little bit longer than he did. But it looks like we'll just be going for this pick and most likely dragging over to that 11 gen. Yeah, we're going to be hooking on the logs here. So not the greatest spot for Gospel. As they are hooked next to the gen that they were doubling but had the most progress. They're definitely not what you wanted to see coming in there, but I think Cash did have the mindset he was going to last a bit longer in that chase. Enough so that they would have been able to pop their gen, and then he would have been in a very ideal death spot with only one gen being in that proximity that has no progress, obviously. But NTR, we are going to be trying to find a stealth around this jungle gym. I think someone was fairly close, but I think it might have been Sis on the edge map. Not 100% sure. Yeah, it is Sis on the edge map. So yeah, and you know what, Sis has been really impressing me with his stealth game. I think he might have one of the strongest stealth games. Maybe even on all of Gospel. I'll be honest, his stealth can be absolutely immaculate when it needs to be. Almost at the perfect time. But we are going to be taking the chase onto Nu. It is just going to be the straight down, but we do want to. It's good timing though. We've kind of baited the chase to get that down, and as soon as Nu's made the call that he's blinking on top of him, they've gotten the pull, and now Cash is able to hopefully steal this out. I mean, that's obviously their plan, but NTR is definitely not going to be able to find it. We are following a set of scratch marks that do not belong to him. We're going to be blinking back, and we are going to get the pickup on Nu in time as well. So the timing from Gospel is just absolutely immaculate at the moment. The communications is definitely on point. We're going to be chasing now Ace away from this generator, so we know. I mean, they'll be able to reset now as well. And we do see the reset coming in on Cash and Nu, so everything's just going Gospel's way right now, Hunter. This is really well done from the survivors.
100%, and I know you did point out Scissor's stealth a little bit earlier. If you do remember the grand final, he's the whole reason they were able to really get away with the Billy set. He stealthed the entirety of the match as he was the fresh hook and got out in the process, which allowed them to take away that last set that they had won. So definitely doesn't surprise me there that we see it once more and able to get the pick up onto Nu and get him fully reset in the background's absolutely crazy, especially when things are looking extremely dire. But we're at the Tycon at the moment, so we can't win the set, but we can definitely still tie it up on the side of NTR. We do have a hook in our hand, which is Addict. We have lost our tunnel out, but we have found him again. It is Cash, who will be running around the little fill. Oh, the Dead Hard coming in as well. The 70 ms, the 80 ms Dead Hard on the side of Cash. I guess he's the best person for the job, being from the west side of Australia, and now just kind of looping around this deep 7 tile. A little bit of Lockajuke coming in here, and the timing is impeccable. Is he able to make the pal and get the stun? No, he's just going to be getting hit down, and this will be the tunnel out of the game. So as soon as I say we lost the tunnel out, we have found the tunnel out once more. That's absolutely crazy. Caster's Curse, call it that. But we do see some gen pressure over the top side on the side of Nu. It will be a 3v1 at 2 generators remaining, so kind of similar towards the last. Oh, we have the spectator bug. That's quite unfortunate, but it is quite similar to last game. We do have accessibility to this generator all the way over here, deeper into 7, and Nu just kind of putting pressure over at this main building. So this is looking more in Gospel's favor, that they are going to get away with like at least a 4K1 if they are still able to hold up and play this correctly. We do see the little bit of a fake double back coming in from NTR, but he's going to opt to go all the way down to in 7, deep 7, and you can only hope that Nu in the background will be working that generator over at 12, but there are 2 survivors here. Are they stealthing out? And they are. We do see Sizz in the background trying to make do all the way down to Shaq and ultimately running all the way down into 4. NTR just kind of caught in the middle of it all, and everybody is healthy at the moment, so nobody's quick tappable down, unfortunately. We're going to be taking this tag onto Sizz, though. This could be quick, but I'm not too sure it really matters. Those gens in the background are being slammed out. I'm not too sure. We do have Eruption in our back pocket, so it will be proccing over at 12 at the very least, but like deep 7 was just never kicked. We do see the aura coming in on the side of our Ada Wong Nu, who will be running corner 11 and is unaware that their aura is actually being broadcasted live straight to the killer. And now we're going to double back and go around those logs once more. And we are going to try and utilize that edge map to kind of prolong our chase. That's that little bit more. We are running back into the kill, a little bit of mind games there. Some very nice work and nice micromanagement there by Nu. Now being able to eat this tag as well. Is NTR going to continue on the chase or leave for the 7 gen? He's just going to ultimately commit this. So Sizz still on the floor. You can only imagine in the background that Addict's just slamming that corner gen over, and Nu's just playing for his absolute life, going down in the process. Is NTR going to be able to make the gen? No. We have popped it straight in his face. Well, not quite in his face, but around his vicinity, and that will be the set win going to Gospel.
Yeah, no, that was just a really rough situation for NTR to be in. I mean, you've got Nu sitting on, sitting on top of that main gen. Sorry, just something in my just something in my throat there. But yeah, you had Nu sitting on top of main. And just providing unbelievable pressure. And then as soon as the killers left Cash's proximity after putting him on his final hook, you had Addict and Sizz instantly head to double that last generator as well. So pretty much no matter what, unfortunately for NTR, that last gen was definitely going to be popping either way. It's just, yeah, really good communications coming in from Gospel and smart play, honestly. But we do have Addict taking the chase onto the edge map here. And we have a light coming in as well. We're not... Oh, we do make the second blink. Very nice from NTR. And Addict's going to get stuck on the tree. So this will just be an instant 2-tap. But ultimately, as you just mentioned, Hunter, it is going to be the set win to Gospel. So it doesn't really matter too much in that sense. But we do still have to see a good result coming in. So hopefully NTR can secure a 4K1 at least. Because, we did want to keep this set close, right? So 4K2 to 4K1, it's still really close, if that kind of result. So hopefully we do see that coming in from NTR. Hopefully doesn't lose any passion to go for that result. But we did see the reset coming into Nu. Sizz is still sitting injured somewhere, so I don't quite know the position of the survivors. Oh, we do have this reset coming into Sizz as well, so I think they've just finished that off. But the gens are still looking in really good position for Gospel. I mean, you got a gen deep 6 with which is Sizz now has jumped on now, and you have Nu sitting mid map ready to go for that pull and Addict. But they should be able to possibly get this down to a 4K0, I reckon, as long as Nu can have a decent chase here. Which a very nice double back coming in there. Oh, beautiful pathing coming in from Nu. Really keeping NTR on his toes and not being able to land directly on him. And we're going to be making our way all the way over to Shaq now. I think we might have been trying to go for another basement play there, but not going to happen that time. No, you got it at the start of the game, but we're not going to get it get it for a second time. And we're just being a bit cheeky, sitting behind this tile. And this will just result in the down for Nu, but we do have Addict pulled and reset in the meantime. He does have 3 stacks of fast track as well, I saw, so at least an extra 3% going on to that deep 6 generator. But NTR, he's getting hooks like in the middle of these generators, so he still has very good odds to keep this down to a 4K1, I reckon. And with I think 2 survivors being deadhooked now, being Nu and Addict. And we have the Insta-pull coming in as well, so we might have someone sitting on main trying to buy as much time for them as possible. We don't want the killer going back there, but I think we did just see all 3 survivors though. So definitely not the case. No one's sitting on main, as we've just seen everyone's whereabouts. I think with that in mind, just seeing all the survivors there, this might just be 4K1 Hunter.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I thought that, in all honesty, we weren't even going to bother be going for the pull onto, I do believe it was Sizz. I thought Addict was just kind of going to slam that generator over at 9 and Nu have the chase of his life and try and play it out. But we've opted to go for the more safer route, and they are doubling main injured, both of them. So this is not the play team. I mean, we're going for a slug over at 11, and if NTR is able to successfully hit his blinks, we're in a world full of trouble. But Nu's going to be able to jiggy around the main tile, so you'll love to see it. He's already escaped, and we're going to opt to go and play a little bit more safe on the side of our killer. Go for this pick, go for this hook, and try to get a pop goes the weasel proc onto that main generator, as we do know that, yeah, like we had seen all 3 survivors in the one vicinity, you can only imagine that the other generators just aren't being progressed at all. So, I mean, NTR kind of in a power position here. We do have Sis, who's just rotated back to that 9 generator, which had bugger all process on it, but progress, sorry, but it's getting there now. I mean, maybe NTR's going to pick up on that, having line of sight through that very nice heal over at mid 10. So we have picked up on it, and Sis is just kind of caught out in this corner here. Not really much to go. Actually, he's made all the way down to deep 7. With fixated in hand, he's just able to rotate without making any scratch marks, but making a little bit of noise. But I don't think NTR was near close enough to be able to be hearing that. So we're going to opt to go all the way down to main once more, but we do see nobody is working on it, and we're going to try and catch someone out off guard. It does seem to be Sizz at the moment, but he's picked up on that fact, and he is going to be able to run all the way down to deep 7, and the eruption proc coming in all the way over at main. So we're going for the slug game as well. Addict gone out of the trial too, to keep in mind. So the only thing Nu can really do is commit this generator over it here. There's not really much room for him to really juice up here and try and take away some outs here. I mean, it'd be it would be miraculous if he did, but this has kind of just secured the 4K1, which kind of leads me into believing at the moment, it's contrary to what we had thought going into this set, that the fact that we've expected outs and we've seen a 4K2 and a 4K1. So I'm not too sure. I think we found this middle ground map for Nurse where it's been very interesting to see how different teams play different sorts of play styles. I mean, it's so versatile. I'm not too sure if that's just the fact that it hasn't been in rotation for very long, but some mixed results is always what you really want to be seeing in OSL. You want to see the most balanced and the only way to really get most balanced results is to make sure that everything is unpredictable in a way. Because if you predict like a 4K2, 4K1, the killer's always going to 4K on this map. It gets kind of boring, right? I mean, hypothetically, you can make that argument for Wraith, because he's the notorious 4K1 killer, and you're going, Wraith DDS is so boring, 4K1 all around, blah, 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 even though it really shouldn't be. But yeah, I mean, just finding a middle ground is always the best possible scenario. So we're going to be taking this kick onto the hatch in the final closing minutes of the game as well, where Sizz will be succumbing to the fact that he will be out of the trial, but that will be Gospel taking away the set, and we'll be moving on into the Blight set, which will be on.
To see Mr. Loops on a set like this, to be honest, I think Nurse is decent macro. Oh, it's a new map. It's a new map. I think he definitely would excel in a setting like this. I'm just a little bit heartbroken. Obviously, Gospel, they know the best. They know their own lineup. They know more than me. Just a little bit heartbroken that I can't see the bro, as I think, he's definitely a top server on this team. The bro being Mr. Loops, of course, if I didn't say that, Big Andrew. But yeah, we are going to load in, big fella. Second set, Blight, Gas Haven. So I guess Addict will have his value to show today for the day and make me shut up and make me look a bit of a fool. They're actually on Surface as well with JD. So yeah, no, pretty interesting stuff from NTR as well. He looked pretty solid last game, big fella, on the killer. So hopefully they can actually do something. This is their pick as well. So hopefully we can find. He's trying to spot up the deli pretty early on, but I don't think he can find anything. And yeah, no, that was a pretty good start overall from Gospel. Again, we do actually see scratchies, but yeah, they were actually able to stealth last game, JD, right early, like 2 minutes into the trial without a tag. So no, hopefully we can see that again.
Yeah, the stealth last game from Gospel was impeccable. Like, they wasted so much of NTR's time, but definitely not the same coming into this game. We are going to be finding someone very early. It is going to be Addict, the survivors you mentioned, Jams, that actually took over Andrew's spot. Obviously, it's interesting seeing Gospel without Andrew. I mean, I actually haven't myself seen Gospel without Andrew on roster. But we'll have to see the value that Addict brings for their team. But we do get the stun onto Shack Pallet. We're going to get the blind as well. So nice work from Addict being able to last a little bit there. We do have the first gen coming into popping as well. I mean, that must have been double. That was a really quick generator. Looks like NTR getting stuck on the edge map, not able to get around those tires. I think the tree was just a little bit too close that it got him stuck a little bit. Badik dying in a very good death spot. I mean, he's died in the corner of the corrupt generators, very far from absolutely everything. So honestly, this is what you want to see from your first chase in the trial against Blight, and considering this isn't their pick, yeah, that's what you want to see on the side of Gospel.
Yeah, you're exactly right, JD. And it's funny you say that, not their pick. On any other day, you would think that that it is their pick. I think they're pretty confident on this as well. So, pretty poor. I won't say poor. Poor is not the right word. Pretty unlucky P&Bs on the side of Ares to kind of give Gospel, one of their stronger sets, I would argue. But yeah, I mean, it's probably just excuse me. It's probably just Ares, one of Ares' better killers. I know they might have picked it versus Forsaken. Maybe it might have been their pick. I know there was a Blight set that day during our matchup, but it could have been on the side of Forsaken that picked it. Either way, they looked they looked in good nick. NTR did that day on the killer. So either way, I thought this was, it's not a bad pick. Don't get me wrong. We do see Cash pull the bro in the background there. The main superstar for Gospel. I think he's on the Delhi build, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, on the Delhi build. That's actually quite interesting. I don't think I've ever seen Big Fella play Delhi in a while. So, so we get sniped through the pallet there. Unlucky for the big addict. He's not actually the DS build, JD. So that's actually going to set them back a little bit because next time the bro gets pulled off, look, if that's not that FTP, or just any form of resetting, ideally you get that FTP off. Yeah, that's gonna be very, very bad for Gospel because they're gonna have to play 3v1 out one, maybe even two if Big Fella gets tapped. But yeah, no, going back to what you said, Big Fella, what we were saying. Yeah, I mean the Gospel have a great problem, too much talent, they say. So yeah, I don't think it's a bad thing. Oh, this shit's chugging too. Yeah, I don't think it's really a bad thing to take out someone and chop someone in because they're all just as good as each other. But I feel like Nurse is on the side of a bit more heavier. I feel like maybe the time that they played together all previously. I know Addict's been there forever as well, but I know Andrew's been a main dominant piece there. So it's been, yeah, like you're right, bro. It's gonna be interesting just to not see him really much anymore. I feel like on any other team he's a start level player. He's probably gonna be your best player on 60% of the teams there. And as I was saying to you before, JD, if this is a quick chase, it's just gonna be GG's. Maybe at 4K1 potentially if the 3v1 gets sloppy. But that is gonna be a 3v1, JD. Pretty early on, I'd argue as well. To be fair.
Yeah, coming into the 3v1 with 3 gens left is definitely something you'll love to see as NTR. I mean, he's coming into this game with some very nice bump logic. We do see the 11 gen popping though, so at least, Gospel does have some really good gen progress on the map. But once again, some more bump logic coming in from NTR, very nicely done. You see this gen on the hill, that's also really high progress. So if Addict lasted a little bit longer, their jams, it would have been down to 1 generator. So a bit unfortunate he got caught out there for the side of Gospel. But still really well done from NTR to be able to get that death out. Still fairly early. I mean, we still have 2 gens left, and we've got Eruption now placed on the 2 gens with the only amount of pressure. So this is still a good spot for NTR and this side of Ares. But look, I'm not 100% sure if it was in OSL, but I do recall that there was another game that Gospel had not too long ago that also had Blight being picked, but it wasn't their pick. It was a pick of the other team. And also, like, just knowing, I guess, Gospel, like, even if my team was kind of strong with Blight, I just don't think it would be a pick that I go for against the side of Gospel. I mean, the Addict he's a really strong Blight main. It's a killer that he plays the most, and a killer he's been playing for a long time. And given he's also been in the comm scene for quite some time as well, he obviously has the experience to go with the gameplay that he has for Blight. So it's definitely something very scary that you don't want to really put yourself in a situation, going up against the Addict Blight. But most likely that's what we're going to be seeing in the next match. I would be surprised if I saw anyone else coming onto the Blight except anyone but Addict. But to have the hit coming on to New there, NTR still getting some, getting some nice tags here, and we're going to be finding out Cash as well by the gen that it's got a lot of progress. And Cash, a very nice vault there, avoiding that tag. I don't quite know how much ping he's on, given he's from the WA. Normally he is sitting around that 90 ping, but he's playing this very well so far, not vaulting back, and he's going to force NTR to break this pallet, and he's also going to be going on top of the hill to stop NTR from using his rush. And he was being a bit cheeky there. He was waiting on the edge to see if NTR would preemptively rush, which it didn't happen. But we'll be following Cash into this building here. We might be having another quick chase. We'll be playing. Oh, we're gonna make it to the truck pallet though. So good parting in from Cash, and a nice flick from NTR, but not quite gonna reach. Unfortunate. And it looks like we are just gonna be dropping the chase now. It's taking a little bit too long, Jams.
Yeah, that was pretty good mechanics on the side of NTR. I have to admit, we well played the J Cash there. What a superstar he's been the past couple of seasons. as we get new right through that pallet there, another superstar as well. But yeah, no, overall, just great matchup we have on here. Noo's just going to go down with the M1 there, so bit of a 2-tap on the side of New. That's kind of bad in a 3v1 setting. We do see the insta rotation from Sizz. Great macro from Sizz there to recognize that the slug and the cross map rushes was coming through, so has the time to pick freely, of course. We're going to see him rush all the way back, though. He hasn't really looked at the gen, I don't think he saw the gen in his line of sight, so I think he's probably expecting a bit more time on his hands. That might come back to bite him in the butt a little bit. But yeah, we do get a tag onto Sizz and New here. He probably should opt to commit this and get it down and probably go back. I think he's going to go back anyway. Kind of a bit bad, because now it just lets the two bros over there reset. And if J-Cash is set up a bit early, which luckily for NTR, he hasn't set up early for a pre-stealth, it could have been really bad for him, but I think Cash is going to back his chase in here. Reckons he could probably last, maybe, you know, if NTR doesn't see the HUD change and Sizz and New become healthy, which New actually is healthy again. I don't know if that was a medkit reset or I'm just wigging out, but regardless, yeah, Cash still looping main. Played well this set, I can't lie. Hasn't really put himself in a position to go down, even though he's giving a bit more free chase than, you know, you'd like to see. And we do see the gem pop as well. Beautiful stuff from J Cash to last that hole there, whole end game, and just doubling out the gen. Was Sizz and Addict as well. Beautiful stuff from the boys. And yeah, no, I don't know. It looked like a good setup for NTR to start the game, bro, but just out of his reach, and Nuisance there just going to keep breeding the pallet. And yeah, overall, not too bad from Gospel on the 3v1. That was beautiful stuff.
You know, the 3v1 was very strong there, but they definitely capitalized on a lot of NTR's mistakes. I'm not sure if you noticed, Joms, but I mean, obviously we could hear the massive progress. Oh wait, it's too close to sneaking it in there, bloody hell. But it looks like we'll be looking at I think that's just 6 stages, Joms. But look, I think NTR, he was just a bit too indecisive with his chases and kind of where to go. Like I think once he had that down on 9, he either had to commit cash around this generator on the hill, or he had to pretty much just go for the pick or go straight back to his down, which I think he just went a little bit too late. Like he went back once he realized the result coming in from the survivors, if they can hold their chases of that tunnel out and really prevent going to that 3v1 early like they did in that gospel set that we just saw.
Yeah, no, exactly right. And yeah, spot on, big fella. I couldn't have said it better. Yeah, that's what we're looking for here. We're looking for a longer tunnel out. We're looking for safe play off the start. We're just looking for good chase and good overall comms, I guess. You know, Blood's, I don't mean to be condescending, but Blood's quite an easy set to get down. I think you could agree, JD. It's not the hardest set on Survivor to make. I think the 3v1 gets a bit tricky sometimes. But overall, the game plan's been pretty the same for the past however many bloody seasons we've done it for. And, you know, even with the map change, you know, things didn't really vary too much. But we are going to load right in here. Very aggressive off the rip from our Nicolas Cage there. And our Nia just hitting the runs back main. Quite actually, you know, might actually be calculated as Addict's going all the way down deep 3 here. I think they all unironically cross back main, if I'm not skitzing. Maybe if we could get a swap, or maybe just where the survivors are. We got a bloke in main, we got a bloke back main. In the locker as well, so beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. And then there's 3 survivors inside of main. So, you know what? I actually do not hate that start. You know, usual typical start on maps. You go the 2-2 split down up any side. But I actually don't hate that. You spawn one, everyone run main, and then one bloke just camps in a locker. I actually don't hate that at all, bro. I'm gonna be completely fucking honest. I'm gonna be so honest with you. That's like, I've never seen that before. They're actually choosing to like full like stealth out the corrupt here. They're playing it genuine slow. So this is everything you need and want if you're on the side of Ares. And oh my god, they're just all looking at him from main and just they're all having a geese. And yeah, we see Nia crawling up here. Rahin is gone out the locker now, and 3's crossed out of main. So wow, that is that's beautiful. Wow, if you take notes, everyone take notes. That is how you should say you should be starting every set, regardless of a blight set. If you can start every set like this on an S tier with Corrupt, my God, you set yourself up for a beautiful start. Beautiful, beautiful start.
Yeah, look, in terms of stealth, like, oh
Oh,
my god, and Rain just getting away. Wait, are they gonna? Oh my god, they get away with it. Yeah, look, in terms of stealth, this is an absolutely unreal start. Don't get me wrong, I will say, like, it is very risky, okay?
it is. Yeah.
Because if Nicolas Cage was found on that pallet inside main where he's sitting now, the other two survivors in the garage would have been stuck. So you would have
Mm.
had three survivors doing absolutely nothing for the and quite possibly all getting tagged and maybe having a down as well. It would have been an absolutely horrific start from if they were spotted in that main building. But a really good cell coming out from them. Ended up not getting spotted, but we are going to be finally finding our first survivor after Corrupt's already done jump. So we've stealthed out the entire Corrupt and we're finally starting to work those top gens, it seems. So yeah, look, absolutely a very slow but unreal start from Ares. Definitely what you want to see, because Addict's gonna have a zero clue what the survivors are working now. Like, obviously, you know, it's very, you want to have really good map. Oh no, but we
Oh.
lost the window. That's just really unfortunate. That the first chase just didn't last very long. But look, but given they stealth out of the Corrupt charms, it's going to affect his macro heavily. A very nice stun coming in from Nicolas Cage, though. He's going to be taking that vault. Looks like we are going to be going for the slug, though. It was light from Nick. And, oh, he's going to make the vault as well. Addict's not able to get that flick. So we're just going to opt to break the pallet. But look, Addict's not going to know what gens are being worked now because they waited out that Corrupt charms. So, yeah, this is still a really good start, even with that really quick down onto Raven there. Oh, sorry, Rayhan. But look, a very cheeky chase coming in from Nick Cage too, just wasting a little bit of time there. So I'm curious what Addict's going to be thinking that the progress gens are going to be. But it looks like we have headed over to Shack, which might be the only gen that has a lot of progress. I couldn't, like, the other survivors hopped off the generators. So I don't quite know what's being worked. But we are just taking that Pop Goes the Weasel and Eruption, heading straight back to the main building. And as we mentioned before, John's like, this chase needs to last a fair while. Addict's chase when he was tunnel out, it was fairly quick. We ended up dying at 3 gens remaining. So you can only hope that on the survivor side of Ares, we can last a bit longer than that. But we are going to be heading back into this main building. The pallet is gone from that middle section though. And oh, we do go for a dead hard, but Addict waits it out by bumping on the garage door. And that will just be a fairly quick second down jump. So definitely not what we needed there. And also on top of that, Addict now knows that it is the dead hard survivor. So that is very unfortunate as well. And we do have Wretched Fate on this set. I don't think it was on the last set. So we have Wretched Fate coming in onto the healthy survivor Nick Cage too. So the gen progress is going to be very slow now, and we are getting hooked on top of a fairly highly progressed gen as well, so it's just not what you want to see on Ares.
No, yeah, my heart does break a little bit because what an amazing start that was, and yeah, the chase was a bit hoarse. I have to admit, I do apologize, but yeah, the chase was just too quick. It was too quick for the level of discipline that they're showing, and that's great rushes around that main. Using 5 rushes to just convert. Beautiful stuff. But yeah, we are actually do get the trade because we do force 5 rushes, so that's actually really well played from our Eric there. But yeah, nah, the problem is now you're forcing the bro in a position where he has to live. Yeah, and I think that's a good decision from Addict there. Maybe could have waited out the BT, but hitting the BT there to avoid the dead hard is just better. Oh, we snipe old blood through pellet as well, so yeah, that unironically, he's had the equivalent tunnel out that he had on himself last game. So essentially going ban for ban, not to be cringe buller, but that's quite well played. Maybe even, I think Ares might still be in a little bit of a better position just because of the start they had. They do have gens pretty close, or I should say gen pretty close, but yeah, you're right, they hooked on a decently active as well, if I'm not mistaken. I actually excuse me, have the stream muted, but yeah, I'm not too sure. He's looking for a stealth edge map as well, so I don't know. Yeah, I saw the start of that game. The Corrupt was gone. I definitely think that would have made Addict panic a little bit, and yeah, he missed the first rush, JD. I know you saw that as well. He got a bit of like flared action on the rock. So that's literally, I thought we were setting ourselves up here for greatness, and that's everything we needed to get ourselves going. With such a what's the word? Well, we do catch Nick Cage out here as well. We're just kicking it at main. I'm unaware of what the word is, but he's a high level energy player, and his emotions are quite what's the word I'm looking for? But I don't know the word. It's gonna kill me that I don't remember it. But if you play on his mental, bro, it works a lot. As many players as happens with, you know what I mean? If you have a bad killer game, bro, you know, lovely there as well, just catching you. I didn't even see the bro cut. Literally just sniping on heads now. So kind of switched on. He's a bit warm now. I love to see that from the big fella. Does choose to swing through that actually. A bit of pig shit from him, but as I was trying to say before, it's more of the mental game on these ST killers, especially someone like Addict as well, knowing him decently well.
That was absolutely disgusting coming in from Addict. But yeah, I completely get what you're saying though, John. It's like, I don't know, it's like you'll see it with a lot of teams. Though. Like a team will lose their pick set, or they believe they're going to win, or it's like a massive gap in terms of results, and you can see instantly how it plays on them going to the next game. Like they're just not playing top form. You can tell they're second guessing themselves. So beautiful these rushes coming in from Addict. They're really showing his mechanical side. Yeah, he's definitely switched on now. We are just be playing for the final down onto 3 here, going for that 4K2. So look, I mean, look, it's not a 4K3, 4 or 5, so we can be happy with that. I did predict the 4K1, but I think yeah, these downs are just coming a bit too quick now. Like I mean, Addict's just gone hit after hit after hit. He's just been in full swing ever since he got that kill on Terrain. So really well done from him. But like yeah, look, if you play on, I mean, it works for pretty much anyone. Like most people tend to get fairly affected by the you know, the mentality is just, you know, you miss a few hits or just some things don't go your way. I mean, you know, I can safely say that, you know, that happens to me sometimes where, you know, it's a set that I believe that we should be winning, and then just like, you know, I lose 50 after 50 after 50, and it's just like, yeah, it really messes with you. I was like, bro, it's like this should have been an easy win, and the only reason I'm losing is just because of like a few things that hasn't gone my way. Um, you know, and then it just affects how you play. Like you just make decisions and do stuff that you probably wouldn't normally do. And yeah, everything just crumbles to pieces, Charms. Yeah, the whole building just it turns to rubble. But look, we do see the pickup coming in from the cage, so we're trying to keep this game alive a little bit. Maybe we'll still see a 4K one. You never know, Jams, but I don't think the gen pressure is too high at the moment. Because with Addict going into this 3v1, I think the Gospel definitely had more gen progress. I think at the time they had 2 gens that were about 90% kind of ready to pop. But in this game, I think they were just a bit too slow to get on the generators once that corrupt was done, because we still had someone like sitting in main, we had someone sitting 11, and that's where the chase was taken to, unfortunately. So I think it was the big fault, I think, in this game was kind of just chasing around those second gens, getting caught in really bad positions. I definitely think we could have seen all 5 gens popping in this trial, Jams, if Death was kind of just in the right spot, or they're possibly working different generators, because they just hopped on the ones that were like the corrupt had been disappeared on, which just led to the chase being in a bad spot and them having to leave the active gens and then getting caught out going for a save. So it's just a lot of unfortunate kind of like free info and free hits on the side of Ares. But we don't quite get the hit though on Eric. He's able to last a little bit longer. And Nick Cage has got a long way to run to get Ace, but he does get him as well. So, and very good parting coming from Eric as well, forcing Addict to use all 5 of his rushes. He had no idea where he went. And we're going to be continuing this chase around the T-Nell, holding some very nice check spots. Oh, it looks like we do get caught out there. Nice double back from Addict. And that will just be the down on Eric, who's, you know, not too far off bleeding out there. I'm not sure if he might be fully
He's dead here,
Yeah,
no, you're right.
Yeah, he is fully dead. He did use Deli earlier though. You are right. But yeah, we're down to the last 2 survivors, but they are both injured, and there's not much gen pressure jump, so this should still be a 4K2.
Yeah, I actually got my survivors mixed up there. I thought bro was still fresh. I think the other bro is actually the one that's fresh, but yeah, no, beautiful stuff from Big Addict. It's hard to fault him ever. when you see him jam the killer. You know, as we've been saying all day, bro, he's quite good on it. But yeah, nah, as I said, I thought they had it. I thought Aries were ready to go. Beautiful start. They would have, you know, Addict would have been panicking a bit, missed a couple rushes, but Stone Cold is what the big man is, you know. Definitely proved that he's capable of it, bro. He's capable of playing in the big games. I think he had a, I think he, correct me if I'm wrong, bro. He had a game. I think in the, I say he had a game, the grand final. Um, I think he 4K'd Zets, bro, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, I don't know what I'm talking about, bro. Maybe he's just been doing this for ages now, and I'm just not tapped into Addict like that. But obviously, I should be because the bro's mechanics are like probably some of the best I've ever seen in the region. You know, he's having a geeze around now just for these last two survivors. They're probably just trying to play for that last generator, that last bit of pride, get that 4K one going. But yeah, for the most part, I think they'll just be the 4K two, JD. And yeah, I mean, not much to say really in the end, bro. You know, it was well played on the side of Gospel. And then, you know, on the side of, you know, like we said, the start from Aries was beautiful, bro. It wasn't set themselves up for real greatness there. We actually do get a reset off in the background there, the boys. So they are actually going to play for the young 4K one, which is actually really great to see. You know, I'd love to see if they're able to pull this off and choosing to split main and at 9 here. So we'll see how this opts to go for them. They do have Wretched Fate in this trial, which is, you know, pretty ugly if you're the Nick Cage right now, but yeah, no, like I said, Jay, not really too much to dissect there. It was just really well played on the side of Gospel. Pretty bread and butter stuff from them. You know, uh, unfortunate for Aries, I think is the word. Unfortunate is definitely the word I'd use, bro.
Yeah, look, honestly, probably, yeah. It's just about unfortunate that they weren't really able to capitalize off their start that they had. But look, I think if there's going to be one set that Gospel would be the most confident on, especially Addict, it's definitely going to be a Blight set. I mean, this dude, I mean, Blight is definitely his highest played killer. The killer's going to have the most confidence with. And yeah, I mean, last season he actually got a 4K on Gospel in the grand. Oh, and a beautiful bump logic as well coming in there, and a very nice flick. I mean, look, once again, it just shows you the mechanical side that the Addict's got when it comes to the blade. He's really strong on it. I mean, he 4K won Zetsubo last season, and he ended up bringing, you know, and it was Zetsubo's pick. Like Sen was very confident on the Blight pick, and even in the interviews, like it was very clear that he was very confident that there was no chance that Gospel was gonna take that away from them. But Gospel, I mean, you know, they had an insane 2-0 start in that grand final, and one of those points coming in from was the Addict Blight. Like he just went absolutely crazy and 4K won what a lot of people would consider the top team in the region. So the fact that, yeah, like he was able to come and do that, I think every Blight set that Addict has, you know, you should be very wary of, and if not, have Blight be a ban in your picks and bans if you're going up against Gospel, because they're going to put Addict on it every single time. And if it's not banned, it's probably always going to be a pick for them. Well, for the most part, anyway. I mean, as we see this week, they ended up picking Nurse, and then the other team ended up picking Blight this time around. So it's not 100% guaranteed they're going to pick Blight, but it's probably a killer that you'll definitely want to ban going up against the team of Gospel. They've just got so much experience on Survivor and Killer side. I mean, they're very confident with their abilities. Yeah, it's just not something you want to do to yourself there. I think you're almost handing them a set win at that point if you put that in their hands. But we will be seeing the hook onto Nick Cage now. Well, this gen's very close to making it a 4K 1 jumps, but 3 is opting to leave it. I think if he just sat it, he would have popped jumps, because he, you know, Addict's gone all the way to main there, breaking the door, and used I think almost all his rushes as well. So 3 definitely had the chance to pop that gen, but we have opted to stealth for the hook save, or maybe going for the hatch. I'm not 100% sure. But we have walked in the open now. I'm not sure if Addict possibly strong going towards the back of Shack.
Or the crow.
Or we did see a crow. I think Addict picked up on that. I think we are going to be finding our ace, and we are going to find him. We do get the bump, but we are stuck in the basement. That is just going to be the tag, tossing that Shack pallet. That is very unfortunate, Johns. I think, yeah, if 3 just stuck that generator, I mean, he's not going to exactly know which direction the Blight's going. But if he just stuck that generator, that was 100% going to be a 4K1.
Yeah, I mean, I would have liked to see them get a. I mean, 4K2 is what it is, but it's just a really, you know, not a good result, not a bad result, not a good result. You know what I mean? It's just very meh. 4K1 makes things look a bit more average, of course, you know, but as you would know, but yeah, 4K2 on the side of Gospel definitely makes Addict look like his guns are a bit more bigger. Wow, well played, bro. Addict just so beautiful on the block, bro. I love